The last video I recently made about the home alarm system using a Raspberry Pi was just so I could show you basically what you can do, the concept of having inputs and outputs coming from the Raspberry Pi. Now in that video I showed that I used one of these cheap 4-button remotes, and then the comments section went a bit wild with how insecure these are and how easy they are to hack and all that sort of thing. And I'm not saying that's not true, but that wasn't the point of that video. But given that you care, and it means a lot to me that you care, I'm going to show you how I've actually got it set up here. And I'll go through some of these remotes because I've got a couple more. I've got the old alarm remote, the new garage door, and I'll go through, for those of you who don't understand why this is insecure, I'll show you that now. The way I get that RF signal into the computer is from the TV antenna. I just feed the RF signal into these two SDR servers. Now they're based on Raspberry Pis with RTL TCP, and I've made a video on how to set them up too if you want to do the same thing. But they just sit here in the corner out of the way, just doing their thing for when I need them. Here I've got SDR Sharp running, and it's getting its RF data from one of those Raspberry Pis I just showed you. Now I've got it tuned to 433 meg, and you can see these little pulses every now and again around here. That's just things in the neighbourhood like car remotes or garage doors or whatnot. So here I've got the cheap button, and if I press it, you'll see a big spike up here, and that was me. Okay, so we can see when it's transmitting, obviously when I'm pressing the button. This time I've got the old alarm button. If I press that, okay, it's very weak, but I can see it just there. Okay, do it again. And there's a little something. As I said, it's a bit weak, but it's there. And the last one is the Merlin remote. Now if I press that, you can see it's in a couple of places. Okay, it's not just one spot. So this hops around a bit more than the others. And I'll show you that in more detail in a different program. Right, here I've got a recording of the first button from that cheap remote. Now, if I put a little bit of averaging on the spectrum display and peak hold, you can see it's about here, okay? And if I just sort out this scope a bit, do a few things, you'll see a bunch of pulses. Okay, now if I manage to pause that right there, now you can see pretty much two longs, a couple of shorts, long, short, short. That's representing the ones and zeros. Now I can tell you that every time I press that button, that code sequence is the same. So all you would have to do is record that and then play it back, and you'll be able to operate whatever that button operated. Here's what the bits from the cheap one turned out to be for the 4 buttons. You can see it's mostly the same except for the last bits here. So pretty basic. Here I've got the new Merlin remote, and if I just put peak hold on the spectrum there, you can see it actually uses 3 different frequencies. Now on the scope display, which I've frozen, you can see there's a lot more bits involved as well. And a portion of this, not all of it, but some of it is the rolling code that changes with every time you press the button. So even if you record a button push, you can't just replay it and hope that it'll still work, because it'll be an old code and it won't be accepted. So how do I open the garage door without using the remote control that came with the garage door? Well, I've got a Tesla in there, so it's got a function where it learns the way this remote control works, and then on the garage door I set it to learn, and it learned the car, which is now the remote control. So as I drive home, the thing pops up on the screen allowing me to just press the button there. So here's me driving down the street now, just about to pull into my driveway, and see the screens come on green with the button option. So if I press that, it acts as the remote control and the door starts opening. So that's how it's done. And look, I am touched that the internet care about the security of my house, but it's all in good hands.